Hey, it's Jen coming at you with another midweek mod. Today's mod is going to be just a little bit different, but I mentioned this in last week's mod when we did the supination pronation drill for the wrist. I mentioned that I teach the ribcage isolation to my clients, and that's what I'm going to teach you today, at least an aspect of it, and talk about why isolation is so important. So today we'll go over the isolation of the ribcage just on the side to side movement and how that plays into your actual workout, with your workouts and your whole fitness journey. So real quickly, I have to tell you that the isolation drills are not a fundamental movement pattern. They're not critical to your overall training as far as the important things like strength and mobility and agility and flexibility and all of that. However, I teach this right at the beginning as one of the critical sort of the bonus, the enhancement, the super secret sauce to everything else that we do, because it gives a whole nother layer to your physicality. Now, when it comes to the exercise part of it, because I also teach this in dance, and this is where it will most likely come up, or have not come up if you haven't done dance training. But in the realm of exercise, I teach this because it will enhance your ab work, or basically it cuts through the need for additional ab work. Unless you're trying to actually build your six-pack, then you have to do the muscle building ab work, but this is to flatten your abs. And then it also will create a efficient way to intensify your workout, so to just make everything that much harder, due to the fact that you are isometrically holding in your abs. At the same time, you're doing something dynamic. So, especially in the standing movements, being able to isolate your rib cage goes hand in hand with what I consider, or what I call if posture, IF, the ideal form. So you could consider this your home base posture. And what that is that you have your rib cage lifted, and by lifting that rib cage up, you're creating additional room in order to engage your abs, to suck them in, to press your belly button towards your spine. And then that automatically will also tighten up your glutes and tilt your pelvis in just slightly. It will also promote the good posture with your ears over your shoulders. So this is what I consider your if form, your home base for most of your standing workouts. Then if you do anything where you're bringing your knees up towards your abs, it will enhance that ab work. And just the fact that we're holding the abs in is that isometric work that's being done as a bonus while you're doing anything else that you're doing dynamically. So let me just show you first what the actual movement looks like. And getting into that if form, you want to find where your rib cage, if you have to palpate, okay, go ahead. Your rib cage, you'll find where it kind of goes inward and then where it ends, okay? So where it ends, where it goes inward is where you want to focus on palpating to push your abs in. Then where it ends is where you want to create that invisible line, like a shelf, for your rib cage to slide across side to side, okay? And your pelvis is your base. Your knees can be soft, your glutes will be engaged. How to get into this posture, first of all, is if you ever do the forward bend, this is a good cue. If you haven't tried it, try it now, where you have your upper body come forward and hang by gravity, right? Your weight of the head, the weight of your upper shoulders is pressing down and creating that hamstring stretch. But instead of focusing on the hamstring, I want you to focus on the fact that as you're hanging down like this, also hanging down are the rib cage. So by gravity, your rib cage is going towards the floor. which means if you stand up, it's going towards the sky. Then you have the fact that this inward position creates that sort of that vacuum, that sucking in of the abs. You want to hold that whole feeling. Stand back up. There's your if posture. So it's not lifting the rib cage up by lifting your shoulders. Okay, so from there, if you could go focus on, say, like your elbow here as a target for each side. Okay, focus on the side to side, so it's not leading with your shoulders. Okay, it's not that. It's not bending to the side. It's not that. It's not your neck doing that. It's not that. Don't let your eyes shift. Don't let your mouth twitch. Isolation is as much about what is not moving as what is moving. So focus on just that rib cage sliding side to side. You could also use an outstretched hand as if you're pushing against walls on the side, okay? And use the visible cue of your arms staying level as you go from side to side, okay? And how far you could stretch that side to side is part flexibility and it's part just skill and having practice. At first, you might feel awkward, you might look awkward. You're going to get to a point where it becomes more natural. And when it becomes more natural, that's when you don't have to stop and think about it. That's when you could work on isolating on the other parts of the body. And then as you're able to isolate individually, then without having to, work at it, you could combine everything together, intentionally move other parts of your body at the same time, as long as you have that ability to isolate, each body part. Then it just comes all together in this one fluid movement. And again, even though it's not for dance, it's going to help you on the dance floor, because if you've seen people who are obviously fit, they've got muscle, they've got mobility, you put them on the dance floor and they come off stiff, that's because they're missing some component of the physicality. So it could be the isolation, it could be flexibility. You have yogis who are very fluid in their movements due to flexibility, but they might not have the strength. So I'm just saying, as long as we're on this fitness journey, you might as well incorporate as much as you can. And the great thing about the isolation movements is you can insert them at any point. There's no hierarchy. There's no, mobility before strength. There's no levels. You could just insert them at any point and enhance everything that you do, and increase your body awareness, your body control. So give it a try. This is Shang signing off. Oh, do it whenever you have a moment, like after you wash your face, after you get out of the shower, anytime you have a mirror in front of you, and to make sure you're not moving anything that's not supposed to be moving. All right, this is Shang signing off, reminding you to start where you are, do what you can, use what you have, and move something side to side.